Welcome back. Ball up top. We missed you last week. David Dennis Jr., senior writer, Andscape. Basketball, NBA season, playoff season is upon us. I was coming here. We were going to have just a normal playoff preview. We were going to talk play-in tournament. We were going to talk first round of the playoffs. But I have been bombarded on the social medias,
rightfully so,
by a bunch of yurs, a bunch of Timberland boot wearing, quarter water sipping yurs out there, and the Speaker of the House, the representative of my man Kaz. We go way back, the blog era days. There is a picture of right here of a Source magazine where Kaz was responsible for getting me the Source. 15 years ago, long time ago. Kaz, as you all know, is one of the hosts, one of the people at 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and the consigliere brains behind the best WrestleMania tradition that we have, 10 years running.
Yes,
it
sir.
Is, and you want to know, I'm
you repping for real?
WrestleMania. It is one of the best things that has happened in professional wrestling. We are going to get into that, but first, Kaz.
I had to step to you, Dave.
You got to talk. Let me tell everybody. Let me show everybody why.
Come on now,
producer Cortez, play the clip. Roll the beautiful bean footage.
The New York Knicks are a great basketball team. We did not see their full complement of players last night, but the Pistons could give them some trouble here in the first round.
They can give them some more than trouble. They could knock them out in that first round. This is a nightmare scenario for this New York Knicks team to be facing this Detroit Pistons squad. First of all, we got to talk about Cade Cunningham, as we just did. They're in a situation with as good as Brunson is, with as great as Karl Anthony Towns is, they will not have the best player on the court when they face Detroit Pistons. The best player on the court is going to be Cade Cunningham.
Gosh.
Woo!
Dave.
Spicy. Kaz, floor is yours. Tell me why I'm right. Prove me wrong.
So first off, David, I got to tell you.
I feel like Steve Davis in that
just prove me I'm wrong. Let me tell you something. So the way my timeline comes in, obviously, is usually headline first, content second, right? So I'm seeing the Knicks won't have the best player in this series headline going for a long time. I'm like, well, that's a silly statement to make. And then I click on the video and I see your light-skinned ass in front of this clip. And I'm just like, Dave, no, man. No, do not fall for the take trap. Let me keep it a beat, all right?
The take trap.
Listen, you've been in Bristol for a long time. You're doing the sports centers now. You on First Take. I've known you since before then, when you were a sensible journalist that wouldn't just say such outlandish things.
Okay,
is Cade Cunningham a great young player? Absolutely. Number 1 overall pick not that long ago. And it's rare that a pick that is taken that high lives up to the billing that soon, especially for a Pistons team who was, setting records for losses for not so long ago. So for them to flip it around that quickly, get into the playoffs, and not only that, play a brand of basketball that is synonymous with Detroit, I could totally understand. But saying he's the best player in a playoff series, can the man play a playoff minute one time? How many times? And this is why I'm not even mad at what you said, because you did exactly what I needed you to do, Dave. You needed to put that extra chip on the shoulder of Knicks fans.
Me?
Of course.
Me? The Knicks need me to do it?
And more importantly, you put that chip back on the shoulder of Jalen Brunson, who every single playoff series they say, yes, he is a good player, but everybody, for some reason, whether it was you, whether it was Becky Hammond, whether it was, there's always somebody that has to take a not just a dig at Jalen Brunson, but sort of like the backhanded compliment, like the sort of like, he's good, but yeah, he's great, but Jalen Brunson is a proven playoff performer at this point in his career, right? Like, no matter what you say about that run last year, they were obviously hobbled by injuries, and it didn't mean a difference to Jalen Brunson. He was averaging over 30 points per game in every single one of those playoff series. He went up against the Philadelphia 76ers team, who was arguably favored over that Knicks squad, except for Joel Embiid's injury. Did that matter? No, because Jalen Brunson served them breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single time out.
Mm-hmm.
Stop disrespecting Jalen Brunson, right? Like, this is a man who, as clearly, outside of the handful of players that are on the Boston Celtics that are the current reigning defending NBA champions, is probably the most proven playoff performer left in the Eastern Conference. Jimmy Butler's in Golden State. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are for the defending champions. Who else is more proven in the Eastern Conference? Who else in the Eastern Conference could you say, I know this dude is showing up every single game out? Are you really trusting the Cleveland Cavaliers to show up like this?
Giannis Antetokounmpo would like a word.
All right,
Finals
I give you
MVP.
Giannis. I give you Giannis.
Okay.
I give you Giannis, but you're going in there with no Dame Lillard, most likely out for the playoffs,
the Bucks probably will not make it out but we're talking individuals.
We're talking about
absolutely
individuals.
Giannis is definitely going to be above Brunson.
1,000,000%.
Disrespect the Greek Freak.
I would not disrespect the Greek Freak. I'm glad you called me out on that. But this is more about Jalen Brunson, all right? In this series, am I wary of Cade Cunningham? Absolutely. The prospect of a young star going into the Garden for his first playoff series scares the hell out of me. It does. But when you break it down, the most important thing about this Knicks squad is what they didn't have last year is health and depth and players that you can throw out there, in addition to your proven playoff performer, captain, leader in Jalen Brunson. I think the Pistons are going to give the Knicks a pound of flesh. I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out series. I still think it's going to be Knicks in 6 games.
6? You would even give
in 6 games.
All right, okay.
I give them 6. I give them 6.
So here's the thing that got blown out of proportion about this thing. I'm not saying that Cade Cunningham is a better player than Jalen Brunson. I'm not saying that. I do think I would pick him on my team over Cat, but that's a whole nother thing. I'm not saying that Cade Cunningham is a better player than Jalen Brunson. In this series, right? In this series, due to the matchups, due to who each team has, to defend the other, Cade Cunningham is in the position to be better in this series than what Jalen Brunson has. Here's why. Cade Cunningham is averaging over the first game was in November. Knicks blew him out by like 30. Pistons were not the Pistons. I think you could agree with that. We could throw the baby out the bed.
Basketball don't even count until after the All-Star break.
We could throw that out. Cade Cunningham's averaged like 34 points in these last 3 games. And I know OG and Bridges were not there in the last game. But when they're guarding him, he's shooting about 50% and has scored 28 points when they have exclusively guarded him. I don't think they have an answer for him, especially if you're going to put Jalen Brunson in some action and you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns switching. Like, those are 2 things that the Knicks have no answer for when Cade Cunningham has the ball. If you're putting Jalen Brunson in that action, they are in trouble. If Karl Anthony Towns is coming over those screens with the inexplicable 2025 flip phone version of a defense, which is called drop coverage, that the Knicks continue to use with Karl Anthony Towns, they are in deep trouble with Cade Cunningham. The Pistons are 121 points per 100 possession with Cade Cunningham is running the game. Like, they are unstoppable offensively. Now, if you look at the other side, here's what worries me. Here's what can slow them down, the Knicks down a little bit. Middle name excellence. Isiah Thomas, excellence, is a defensive hound. Now, he hasn't played on Brunson too many minutes, but I think if he's shadowing this guy, it can cause enough trouble in which Cade Cunningham has the matchup advantages to have a better series. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's better than Jalen Brunson. I'm just saying in a 7-game series, due to the matchups, due to the Yellow Pages, AOL.com defense that they're running with the drop coverage, I think that Cade Cunningham is in position to be a better player in the series. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying, and the strategy is out, right? If you want to guard Jalen Brunson, you give somebody who's about 6'8", 6'7", rangy, can move. And there's probably no better, rangier, freakier athlete on that defensive end than Isiah Thomas, right? But The one thing that Jalen Brunson has done at every single one of these playoff series is that it's a series. It is not a one-game solution. And one thing Jalen Brunson has done time and time again is taking that Rubik's Cube of what you try to do to defend him, even though he's only 6'1", soaking wet, is figure out a way to either get that person in foul trouble or manipulate his way offensively to get him better options. In a series, it's all about matchups, and I believe the New York Knicks pose a much better matchup issue than the Detroit Pistons. Yes, the Pistons went 3-1 against the Knicks this year, but almost none of those games featured a full rostered Knicks team. We've been screaming from the high heavens about what this Knicks team is going to look like with a full healthy roster for the past several months, and for the first time ever and the best time ever, you got a healthy Mitchell Robinson. You got a healthy OG. You got a healthy Mikal Bridges, even though his defense has got me a little bit worried recently in the past several games. Josh Hart's going to be out there. And the mismatch problems that Karl Anthony Towns poses to 3 crash outs led by Isaiah Stewart guarding him in the post is going to be easy money in the bank. Granted, they do need to get tough. I think the PJ Tucker element, what he said on the post-game conference is like, listen, the Pistons are going to try and come out tough. They're going to try and come out aggressive. You got to out-tough them. I only half believe that. I think you got to match the toughness, right? But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, you're a better basketball team. You have better talent. Like, you may have the better overall, like, if we're doing a draft in 5 years and, like, who's going to be the best player in the next 5 years or whatever, I'm obviously taking Cade Cunningham number one in that pool of players. But we're talking about for the next 2 to 3 weeks of basketball where the games matter and you have players who are experienced. You got Karl Anthony Towns, who went to the conference finals last year. You have Jalen Brunson, who's done his thing.
Let me stop with Karl Anthony Towns.
Go ahead.
Quick fire question. What are you expecting from Karl Anthony Towns in this series?
All I know is the last time.
You got Duren down there. You have shaky playoff resume where he shows up in a series, struggles in another series. What do you want? Do your Shaq thing. You know, Shaq's like, I want 37 and 22. Like, give me what do you want from Karl Anthony Towns out of this series?
Dave, all I know is the last time I saw Karl Anthony Towns in a playoff series, he was outplaying the best player on God's green earth in Nikola Jokic.
That wasn't the last time we saw him. That was the last time before the last time we saw him. Because
the last time I saw him, these eyes saw him, he was going up against Nikola Jokic and not just holding his own, but outplaying him in many stretches of the games that they needed him. And you're sitting here telling me to worry about some beef stew and some Jalen Duren? Granted, I get they tough. I get it. They're strong. I get it. It's Detroit basketball. But at the end of the day, the bell's got to, like wrestlers say, the bell's got to ring, right? And I'll take Karl Anthony Towns and everything that he has for me as far as being a big man who can hit free throws, as far as being a great rebounder for his size, as far as being able to take these guys off the dribble. I think Isaiah Stewart's defensive prowess on the perimeter probably gives me a little cause for pause, but Karl Anthony Towns has been taking centers off the dribble literally all season long, and I'm sorry. I like my matchup against the Detroit Pistons over anybody as far as big men are concerned. Now, when you get to the second round, that's going to be something, but this Pistons team is still very young. They're still very inexperienced. They have experienced players. They have players on that team that have been to the playoffs before and know what to expect. But at the end of the day, when your leader, as great and talented as he is still coming into something very new, that is absolutely going to be something that is going to take some adjusting. Now, granted, if you walk into the Garden, probably the best case scenario for somebody getting their first playoff taste and they handle it and more than handle it if they thrive upon it, then maybe I'm a little bit more worried. Like if he walks into game one at MSG and it looks like a December in the regular season and he's just doing his thing, then I'll be concerned. But I've been in that Garden many, many times for playoff games. When that ground gets to shaking, when all the eyes are on you, when it's prime time for everybody watching these games on ABC. I don't want to say the graphic term for it because we are on the Disney network, but holes get tight. Like, people get lemon booty, like things get a little bit more different when the playoffs start. The regular season is one thing. The playoffs are a whole different beast. And this is what this Knicks team has been waiting for this entire season. We all knew that nothing that happened in the regular season was going to matter except for what happens starting this Saturday. So everybody 0-0. I'm throwing all the records out. I think the Pistons are going to give the Knicks a good series, but I give it to the Knicks in 6 games, man.
All right. I think this series is going to 7. It's going to be a good series. One of the series I'm anticipating the most. We will move on and discuss.
Hold on 1 second there. What if I have something to offer you, David?
All right, producer Chuck, what you got?
How about this picture? Will this change your mind about the Pistons?
How did I forget? How did I forget? The Drake curse with the Crocs on in the locker room. How did I forget? Forget all this analysis in basketball. The Drake curse has infiltrated Detroit. There is no other. I might go Knicks in 5 at this point. I'm gonna go gentleman sweep now. I forgot all about that clip. And if you heard the record that leaked this weekend with Drake talking about, Cade Cunningham's locker room and doing it with the Crocs on and all that type of stuff.
Producer Chuck, you're supposed to have my back.
I'm just saying.
I have now.
I don't know the last time Drake rooted for a team and it went well for them.
Oh my God, it's the white meat. He got the white meat, bare white meat on the locker room. That's oh man. Okay, Knicks in 4. Knicks in 4.
No.
Oh, all right. Now can we move on, please? Now I've been
Yes,
thoroughly
we
embarrassed
can.
for my take that I was felt good about until just now.
Hey, listen. Heartbreak, Yellow Cake, Dirty Drake, Knicks in 5.
Oh my goodness. All right. We're gonna keep it a Detroit-ish. Mm-hmm. Isiah Thomas, legendary Isiah Thomas, went full respectability, get off my lawn. I don't know if you saw this. Here we go.
I just totally 100% object to this. And if I was the GM or coach,
Me too.
I would never let one of my players walk out on the floor looking like this. I mean, we are a professional NBA league. We ain't summer league. We ain't at the YMCA.
Listen, I think coaches got to go back to suits.
Absolutely.
I just
Absolutely. I just think
college and pro.
I just think the professionalism and
Get in there, Jalen. Say something, Jalen.
has diminished.
Come on,
so
Jalen, fight
much.
back.
And I look, I like LeBron. I'm a fan of his, so forth and so on. But to walk out on the floor before a game with no shirt on and shoot, I mean, come on, man.
Jalen, I know you want to say something.
What we doing? Where we at?
I can see Jalen nodding over there like, that's interesting.
Jalen nodding because he said this man is from Detroit. I gotta back up my Detroit legend.
I was
What
about to say, you
black
can
on
tell.
black crime, Isiah Thomas? What about black on black crime? Oh, Isiah, you can't do that, man. Isaiah, I know I said this is a Piston tour, but also Isiah Thomas, New York Knicks front office and coaching great Isiah Thomas. Kaz, what do you have to say about his take here?
I'm gonna say, for the record, I don't want to offend any of my political connects, but I will say this: Isiah Thomas, you are a legend. I'll never disrespect anything you gotta say, but it does come to a certain point with LeBron where it kind of just feels like you're just grasping at straws for things to be upset at him about. Like, first off, this is a guy who's probably getting shots up maybe 5 hours before, the game even tips off. And most of those situations that we've seen, the gym's pretty empty. Like, what do you need to be professional about? And on top of that, LeBron's pushing 40. If I look like that when I'm, in about 2 years, I know what I look like right now.
15 years. He's been doing this for 15 years.
Come on, man. Like, well, what are we really getting mad about? Now, I do agree with him on this point. I ain't gonna hold you. I do wish the coaches went back to wearing suits just a little bit. There was a tiny bit of mystique. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, watching Tibbs and Spoelstra in performance fleeces and jogger suits. Like, it don't hit the same as like Pat Riley in a 3-piece, or like or Doc Rivers rocking something. Like, there is something about the coach in the suit that is kind of fire that I do kind of miss. I think that's one of those things that we just took away from the pandemic that we're never going back to. But it's just hilarious to me, man. Like, Isiah Thomas was an executive for my New York Knicks. Isiah Thomas was one of those people making those decisions about, basketball related activities at one point in time. And it just screams like, hey, even if the message was right, you had to know the messenger was going to be.
I know you're Isiah Thomas. My bad.
It's like Isiah is my bad. Isiah Thomas is a legend in my eyes, one of my favorite players of all time. But it's like, my brother, pot meet kettle. Like, you are not going to win that argument coming from you, right? Coming from you. It takes a simple Google search that we don't even got to get into. But it's just like, don't talk about what should or shouldn't be done from an executive level. Because if LeBron got petty, and we've seen he could get petty, like if he turns around and says something back to Isiah, then what? Yeah. And what's the thing that he could say back to Isiah that we all know?
It won't be, I just know this, it won't be very liberal or very lighthearted.
No,
or
I don't think
it wasn't very laughable from a vivacious, loquacious IT. Yeah, man, you cannot go full get off my lawn like that for LeBron James, and like, especially with your Isiah Thomas. It was sad. I wanted better from him. You can't do that because now everybody's pulling up the receipts on IT. First of all, there's a clip going around where it looks like he's choking his coach. I will defend Isiah Thomas here. It was taken out of context. He was bleeding. His coach said, "Take it out on me." It's not what you think it is. If there's a bunch of things you want to pull from about Isiah Thomas, a quick Google search will get the job done. Isiah Thomas, I want you to do better than that.
The brakes, pump him.
Got to chill on that one, Isiah Thomas. At least he didn't go full Phil Jackson. They're wearing prison garb. Everybody looked that one up from back in the day.
Talk about posse.
He didn't go full Phil Jackson posse. So we at least have that. Kaz, I want to get to the WaleMania stuff. I want to get to WrestleMania preview real quick. Anything else on your mind? What's your hottest hot playoff hot take before we move on?
My hottest playoff take. Oh boy, I got a couple, man.
Okay.
But I feel like the Minnesota Timberwolves might knock out the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round.
Okay.
I think the T-Wolves are going to knock out the Lakers in the first round. First off, they still haven't really found the answer for the interior. And I think Rudy Gobert being in that middle to sort of like shore up, whatever penetration is going to happen between Luka and LeBron is going to help, right? Like, and I think another key player in that tournament, in that series rather, is going to be Julius Randle. And I know what you're going to say. There's always been these questions about Julius Randle and how he performs in the playoffs, but I remember certain games. I remember he played a game against the Miami Heat 2 seasons ago where he was hurt, still dropped 30 plus, still was valuable to winning that game. He's been playing some of his best basketball as a Timberwolf this past month and a half. And of course, they got Ant-Man in there. Ant-Man is the ultimate X factor in this series.
Can he be the best player in the series?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like, I think, Luka and LeBron, very sexy teammate, very sexy duo as far as like, matchups are concerned. But it's a coin flip between him and Luka, to be honest. Like, as far as like, not even just best player in the series, but best player in the world. Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic, you can't go wrong with either one of those guys. And I just kind of believe that, the run that the Minnesota Timberwolves had before even running in to the Dallas Mavericks, I mean, he can't really get his get back on Kyrie and those guys after the call out that we all saw in the Netflix Starting Five documentary, but he can get his get back on Luka. And as much as I like this Lakers squad and I love the story of Luka and LeBron getting at it, and I love LeBron being relevant in playoff basketball as far as like the Lakers being a top 3 seed, I think that is the matchup that has the most upset potential. I feel like Anthony Edwards and Randall and DiVincenzo, who's shown to be a great playoff performer, and Nicola Alexander Walker, and just a lot of those rangy defensive guys could pose a little bit of problems for, LeBron on the wing and Luka on the wing. So if I were to pick any upset in that first round, I think the T-Wolves could take the Lakers out for sure.
You know what? I'm not gonna go that far. I will say I thought it was Lakers in 5 at the beginning. The more I look at this series, the more I'm like itching a little bit to make this a longer series.
It's gonna be a long one.
I think Nas Reed, I think Randall, as you mentioned, could cause some trouble down in the interior with the Lakers. I don't know how much Rudy Gobert I think there's going to be some games where he does not close if the Lakers go 5 out and it's tough. Like if he's going to stick on Rui, is he going to stick on somebody who can't shoot? And then it's about Anthony Edwards. I think this will actually be a long series. I'm not going to go as far, but originally when it first happened, I thought the Lakers dodged a bullet, but not having to play the Warriors. They're going to win this in 5, but I think this will be a close series. All right, let's talk.
Warriors got to get out the play-in first. They got to get out that play-in.
Hey! Not too much.
I want him to, but stop foul baiting, Draymond. Maybe in the playoffs.
Just make the layup. Harrison Barnes may have cost the Warriors 2 championships. Anyway, WaleMania. Tell the streets about WaleMania. Tell them how they can get there. What are we looking at?
Guys, it's our 10th year doing WaleMania. For guys who may not be familiar, myself, Wale, we've been throwing the unofficial Welcome to WrestleMania weekend party every WrestleMania for the past 10 years. It's funny enough, that same source issue that's behind you was one of the issues that started off me and Wale's friendship. It was definitely like a scene out of Step Brothers where, we're following each other around for like a couple of weeks, and it was like, oh, you're in Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. It's like, you're in the sneakers, I'm in the sneakers. Like, you're in the wrestling, I'm in the wrestling. It's like, yo, did we just become best friends? And it was like, yep. And that's exactly how it took off. So we would go to, All-Star Weekend, Super Bowls, all that type of stuff. And the first time we went to go hit a WrestleMania, it was just like, man, like, I love all this wrestling, but where the vibes at? Like, there's got to be like I could see all the independent wrestling and all the fun stuff there is that WWE puts together, but is there like a place where we could like just have fun? And we decided to just make that. And WaleMania has evolved over the years, but now it's a mixture of hip hop culture and pro wrestling that I don't think anybody truly does on this sort of level. It's a live podcast mixed with musical performances, mixed with surprise guests from all walks of life, whether it's the world of sports, world of wrestling. It's pretty much like a variety show. Like if In Living Color had some wrestling elements to it, like that would be WaleMania, right? Like it's something for everybody there. This year, obviously our MC Big Swole is going to be holding down the Masters of Ceremonies, but we're doing my live podcast out there, the Masked Man Show for Ringer Wrestling with Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso is going to be our guest. Naomi is also going to be one of our other guests. Samantha the Bomb, a.k.a. Samantha Irvin, who was a famed ring announcer for WWE for the past several years, is doing her first ever live performance of her new music. And it's going to be awesome. She's got background dancers, backup dancers, backup singers. She got an entire incredible show, planned for that. Freddie Gibbs is pulling up on us. We're having a fatal 4-way rap battle to discover who's the king of wrestling bars between Saga.
I cannot wait for this.
I'm gonna have fun. That's gonna be probably my most fun part of the night, between Saga, Chess, Tay Rock, and DNA. All 4 just lethal battle rappers, but all 4 of them massive wrestling fans. So there's gonna be some. It's the perfect audience to perform it in front of, because you got this mixture of black wrestling fans that 10 years ago probably didn't have a sort of congregating space to sort of like come together and really have, this sort of fun. And it's something that we're all really proud of, man. And obviously it's stepped up a lot this year because it's presented by Netflix. They came in, and obviously they have a lot of stake in the wrestling game this year, especially after, getting Monday Night Raw and overseas, having SmackDown and all the premium live events. So everything's going to be elevated, man. You got to understand, this is an event that started in a lounge in San Jose during WrestleMania 31, one of the more like pivotal WrestleManias of all time. And we were sponsored by Backwoods. We were sponsored by response about backwoods back then, you know. So to see the evolution to, you know, having great
all due
artists.
respect to Backwoods.
Hey,
holding
listen.
holding WaleMania down.
Backwoods has been a pillar of the community for a long time. No shade to Backwoods, but you know, it's really exciting to see just how much we've grown, how much wrestling has grown, how much more I guess mainstream it's gotten over the past several years. And it's a lot easier of a sell to tell people about it. It's like wrestling's kind of in again for the first time since I was a kid. So knowing that WaleMania is coming to your town, wherever WrestleMania is an easy sell. We're going to have a packed house. It is so much fun. If you're in Las Vegas, it will be our Brooklyn Bowl, 7 p.m. doors open. And we rocking all night long, man. And it's the kickoff to the best weekend to be a wrestling fan there is, man. There's no better way to do it than at WaleMania.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see what you guys do. Again, quick, we're going to do some rapid fire WrestleMania predictions and takes.
Let's do it.
All right. Number one, what is your match of the weekend?
Ooh. Match of the weekend, Intercontinental Championship match, Braun Breaker, Dom Mysterio, Finn Balor, Penta. That is my stamp, gonna steal the show match of the weekend. Slightly below them as far as like show stealing matches. I am so locked into Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton, especially after the past couple of weeks. Like I already knew it was gonna be a great matchup, like wrestling wise, but now that you got some real juice behind it, I think that's gonna steal the weekend for sure.
Who's going to be the biggest star coming out this weekend? Who's going to be the rising star that makes their name at WrestleMania?
Man, I really think it's going to be Jey Uso, right?
Okay.
Like Jey Uso is already a massive star, but they've played in this whole storyline since winning the Royal Rumble to going to WrestleMania. They've played into a self-doubt a lot, and some of that derives from whether it's online chatter or people saying he's not in the same league as the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. I think he's going to have probably the best match of his career. He has no choice but to have the best match of his career, and if he delivers that, and if he delivers anything close to that, I think he'll be an even bigger star after that. And there's nobody out there that's more equipped to give you an incredible match than Gunther. So I think he's primed to be elevated into the top level of superstardom in WWE.
Finally, the match we've all been waiting for, the moment of truth. Who comes out? Heel John Cena or Cody Rhodes? Who's coming out the champion?
Dave, it's got to be heel John Cena. It's got to be heel John Cena. If the build to WrestleMania was a little bit more involved, if The Rock was there every week, if Travis Scott was popping in, if they didn't give us much, which means it doesn't feel like it's the end of a story. It feels like it's the beginning of one. Add to the fact John Cena has the opportunity to break Ric Flair's all-time record for world championships. Add to the fact that, you know, WrestleMania's got to have some stakes, and he's pretty much saying, I'm going to ruin wrestling for everybody and take my title, the title that I made famous, and go home. I want to see the reign of terror of heel John Cena for the rest of this retirement tour. I think that is the most important and best story you can tell coming out of WrestleMania, and there's no better way to do it than his last WrestleMania, walking out as the WWE Championship, a record-breaking 17th time.
I gotta agree with you. I think Cena wins. I think he beats everybody for the rest of this year in the most heelish ways. He beats Roman, he beats Punk, he beats everybody. And then the question then becomes, who's going to take the belt from Cena and retire him? Like, who is going to be the big star to do that? I have no clue who that's going to be. Do you have any idea who that may be come the end of the year? Who would you put as the person to, A, take the belt off him? Because it may be two different matches. A, take the belt off of him, and B, retire John Cena. Man,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's nobody that's on the WrestleMania card right now.
Oh, okay.
If it was my call, like, this is the type of moment that you make somebody. This is the type of moment that you give to somebody who you're trying to elevate there. And maybe he's not on the card right now. Maybe he is. But if I had to put money on somebody to dethrone John Cena to be the next dude, and he's on the card, so I'm cheating a little bit. But Braun Breaker, Braun is just they are taking such good care of him with his character, and you can tell when WWE really cares about somebody, right? When you're getting your own camera angles, when you're getting your own vignettes, when you're getting all these viral moments, where you get to spear speed out of his shoes, they are investing a lot in you. So it would make a ton of sense if in the last night of John Cena's WWE Championship match, he just gets speared in like 12 seconds. And then it's like, holy shit, we got a brand new champion and a brand new megastar in Braun Breaker. You know, I'll put some leftover chips in there for Carmelo Hayes. I think Cody Rhodes could be another guy who just regains it back also. CM Punk might be an outside chance, but this is the opportunity to make somebody. Go give that opportunity to someone who can use it, basically.
My man Kaz, WaleMania coming up this weekend. Incredible time. Good luck to your Knicks. Fantastic. Good luck to your Knicks. Maybe there is a world in which we're both right, which Cade Cunningham is the best player of the series, and the Knicks still win, and everybody's happy, and everybody feels good.
I don't mind that. And Dave, once again, bro, I want to make sure I'm saying this on the air, bro. And I told you this in All-Star Weekend. I want to make sure I tell you this on the air. I'm super duper proud of you, bro. Every time I see you on ESPN, every time I see you, even when you're having blasphemous takes about my Knicks, I'm still like, yo, this man really got it out the trenches. Blog era, blog era gang. Like, I'm always rooting for everybody over there. And continue to keep killing it, man. Congrats on Ball Up Top. Congrats on everything on Andscape. And I'm so proud of you, brother. Even though you take about my Knicks stinks, I'm always rooting for you, my man. So, again, congratulations on everything.
I appreciate it. Love you, brother.